Paulson, over here, please. Paulson, thank you.
Mr. Paulson.
Mr. and Mrs. Paulson, this way, please. Secretary, please. I've got to get you there. Right over here, Secretary Paulson. Secretary, over here.
That's just what I need. Press photos of the Treasury Secretary waving the Chinese flag.
Paulson, the communist. The look on your face was priceless. Hank, I must ask you about Fannie and Freddie. We have hundreds of billions invested. You've assured us the investment is safe.
And it is. Absolutely.
We're watching a great deal of our money disappear. Share prices have dropped 60% in the last 2 months. Carrying your bazooka around has not helped matters. Congress gave you the power. Perhaps it is time to use it.
The market will stabilize. We just have to give it some time.
There was an approach last month from Russia. They have considerable holdings in Fannie and Freddie as well. They suggested we coordinate and without warning dump hundreds of billions of Fannie and Freddie's bonds onto the market.
That would be
chaos. The amount of debt your country carries is a terrible vulnerability.
But you...
We declined, respectfully. Even in the U.S., it seems the relationship between the government and private industry isn't so simple.
Was it a threat?
No. It's a friendly reminder. And with a single phone call to Moscow, they can take down the entire U.S. economy.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 11. How ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off. Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. Yahweh is the name who the world calls God, and Yahushai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth of sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And the reason why I brought out the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 11, all right, is because, hey, man, this U.S. economy, okay, this way of life of the merchants selling and buying is going to come to an end, all right? It's going to be cut off, okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, all right? And the reason why I'm making this video, all right, because I came across an article today, all right, where I'm just going to read the title. This is from CNN Money. It says, Russia plans to sell more U.S. debt in response to sanctions, all right? And that's why I put that video in post-production, all right, from the movie Too Big to Fail, all right, because that scenario, okay, that was being discussed in 2008 is now being discussed again, all right? You have now Russia, okay, dumping, getting rid of U.S. Treasury bonds, all right? And there's now articles, which I'm going to bring out, okay, in this lesson, that China's not buying, all right, U.S. Treasury debt, all right? Or they're slow, or they're holding off on buying, okay? And with all these tariffs that are going on between America and China, hey, China can just dump the bonds too, okay? And they can coordinate with Russia, okay? And just say, hey, let's do a massive sell-off all at once. And that would be a really scary scenario here in America, all right? And this is one of the reasons why I got into this truth, all right? Because I really wanted to understand the financial system. And boy, when I wasn't in this truth, okay, learning this stuff kept me up at night. I could barely sleep knowing how in an instant the economy can crash overnight. So now let's get into this article, all right? And I'm going to, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema okay, Lord willing, this edifying, you know, break this down, you know, in simplest terms. So Russia plans to sell more its U.S. debt in response to sanctions. The Russian government might not be done selling off U.S. debt, right? Because Russia's been selling U.S. debt and actually investing in gold. There's a lot of articles being presented. You can research that, all right? Finance Minister Anton Siluanov told Russia's state television network, Russia One, on Sunday that Russia will continue decreasing holdings of treasuries in response to sanctions. Between March and May, Russia's holdings plummeted by 81 billion, representing 84% of its total U.S. debt holdings. The most recent round of American sanctions on Russia came in response to the poisoning of former Russia spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter in the UK earlier this year. All right, so that's why America put the sanctions on Russia because of this whole poison thing, and Russia's like, okay, well, we're just gonna we're gonna get rid of your bonds, all right, and we're gonna just dump them, all right, and we don't want to use them anymore, okay, and so that's what it is. We're seeing economic warfare happening, all right. Let me go down. Okay, here we go. Russia's decision to dump U.S. debt isn't expected to have a big impact on the treasury market because it's not a leading creditor of the United States. Even as Russia's recent peak of 105.7 billion in November 2017, it ranked as the 15th biggest Russian holder of U.S. debt. China owns about 1.2 trillion, or roughly 10 times as much as Russia, and that's the key right there. All right, and I always like to bring out Russia and China are united. They have what's known as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the SCO, all right, which is an economic and military alliance, all right? So if Russia and China, decide one day, hey, man, let's just dump it all at once, okay? China being the major holder of U.S. debt, what does that say for America? So now let's get to another article, all right, because Hank Paulson, all right, in his memoirs, he wrote this and said, hey, the Chinese official, when I went over to Beijing, literally threatened me, in a roundabout way, by saying that Russia, came to China, say, hey, let's dump the bonds of Fannie Mae. So this is from Paulson. Crazy Putin pushed China to dump Fannie bonds and crush the U.S. financial system. You see how scary that is, man? A scary scenario. Some scary details have emerged from Hank Paulson's memoirs. Allegedly, it appears Russia may have tried to conspire with China in a bid to collapse the U.S. financial system. They were hoping to sell Fannie and Freddie bonds during a time when the U.S. economy was on the ropes. Right, man? All right? So all it takes, man, is another bubble. Maybe a housing bubble crisis. Maybe an auto bubble crisis. College bubble crisis. All right? And then simultaneously, Russia and China dump the bonds, U.S. Treasury bonds, and poof, man, you're going to see hell here in America. All right? That's why we here at Great Millstone, we continue to tell our people to wake up, man. All right? Come back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. The grinding's going to cease here. All right? All it takes is one event, man, and all this goes. Now, let me bring out the scriptures because, hey, I said the grinding shall cease because this is what's going to happen, man. There's the book of Ecclesiastes, all right? And I'm just going real fast. I don't want to make this too long. So, Lord willing, that's edifying, all right? This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Right, man? People are going to tremble, man. And when it says, when they look out the window be darkened, meaning there's going to be no hope in the future of America. People are going to not have any hope for this place, man. And you're seeing it, man. You're seeing, stores closing down. There's been plenty of reports of, multiple companies closing their stores, their franchises, Starbucks to name a few, all right? Toys R Us to name a few, all right? Why? Because, hey, man, all right, times are getting rough here in America. America's taking on too much debt, and all these nations see it, and all they got to do, all right, if America keeps, poking at them, especially with China and Russia, hey, let's dump the bonds, man, onto the market. Let's cause hyperinflation in America, all right? Because where's the dollar going to go? It's going to go right back into the American economy, all right? And that's going to cause hyperinflation, man, all right? The dollar is going to be devalued, all right? Too many dollars in the system is not good for the economy, all right? It's basic economics. So let's get to another one. Now, this article right here is from Reuters, and I remember reading this article, and it came out in January 18, 2011. Analysts, what is Plan B if China dumps its U.S. debt? All right, when I read this article, man, this put chills on me, okay? This really, really, okay, had me bugged out, man, okay? When I didn't know, I was an Israelite, when I didn't know, okay, anything about this truth, about the Bible, man, when I wasn't, okay, in the scriptures. I was in my own, okay, in my own world, all right, thinking on a carnal level, all right? And when I read this, man, this really, okay, bugged me the hell out, man. But the water to Yahweh Shai, okay, that he opened my mind to get into the scriptures, and now I can sleep at night, man, all right? Because, hey, man, I'm looking forward to this happening. I'm looking forward to seeing the American economy crumble and seeing fear in your people's eyes out here, man, all right? Because you people here think it's a game in America, all right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans who don't have nothing, you really think it's a game out here, man, all right? But you're going to see, man, it ain't no game. It's going to be deadly serious out here, all right? It goes on, it says, when borrowing money, it's always good to have a plan B in case a big creditor pulls the plug. That should be true whether the sum is a few $1,000s or about $1 trillion, the size of the United States government's debt to China, all right? It goes on and says, China is officially the United States' biggest foreign creditor with roughly $900 billion in treasury. Now it's more now. Remember, this article came out 2011, so it's a lot more. I think it's 1.3 trillion, okay? But don't quote me on that. All right, it's definitely in the trillions. That means it could be severe damage to U.S. debt markets if it suddenly started selling large amounts. That's what they call a nuclear option. China has what's known as a nuclear option. See, that's why people like Vocab Malone, Jesus is the Word, okay? James, the Edomite White, all right? These people are false prophets, man. These people don't have the answers, okay? They just, if you're watching this, if you're Jesus the Word or Vocab Malone or any of you Christians out there, man, all right, so-called Christian, just drop the Bible, okay? Stop teaching, all right? And just go into the world and get ready for the economic collapse, all right? You are not fit to teach these words, okay? Like us here at Great Millstone through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shem Shai, all right? This is deadly serious, okay? Are you warning your people about this? Hell no, okay? More experts say if there were signs of this happening, the U.S. government would go for a combination of persuading Americans to buy more U.S. debt, the same way they did in World War II, and finding friendly foreign governments to make additional purchase. Right, same thing what Turkey's doing now. Turkey is telling its people, hey, invest in the, I think it's called the Lyra or something, all right? I forgot what their currency is, all right? Stop buying, stop investing in U.S. Treasury or any other currency, okay? Invest in your own country. This is exactly what they're going to say here in America, all right? There's nothing new under the sun, okay? Banks could be called on to increase their holdings of treasurers, and a last resort, the Federal Reserve could be called on to fill the gap, though this could risk turning in a dollar weakness into a slump. You're right, because if the Federal Reserve opens up his balance sheet, okay, and adds more of the debt that's being dumped into the market, all right, it's going to devalue the currency, all right? Once again, too many dollars in the economy is not good, all right? It's simple supply and demand, all right? You have a huge supply of money, but how much, okay? No, minimum supply of resources, all right? But a lot of money chasing these resources, man. These few resources, okay? So what is that going to do? That's going to raise the prices on all the commodities here in America, all right? That's what's called inflation, all right? If you can understand it, all right, just go look it up, man. Quote, the U.S. government should have, and maybe still could call on the people of the U.S. to invest in the U.S. debt. That's right, exactly. That's exactly what Turkey's doing right now. All right? Said David Walker, former U.S. Comptroller General, who heads an advocacy group calling the governments to curb the U.S. budget deficit and borrowing. Right, because America's taking on too much debt, man. It's over $21 trillion. This is unsustainable. The economy's going to collapse. All right? Now, here's scenarios why China might dump the bonds. All right, not just tariffs. All right, but they broke this down here too. This is like beautiful what they said. It said it likely would take something like a massive rise. It likely would take something like a massive rise in tensions over an issue like Taiwan or oil exploration in this few area of the South China Sea, including possible military confrontation between the two nations. Such a confrontation would also make it easier for Washington to appeal to the American public to buy its debt for patriotic reasons. Right. If China and America go into war over the islands, okay, over the resources out there, all right? Because the CFR and the CIA, okay, documented that there's a lot of oil in that the South China Sea, all right? And there's also a lot of natural gas out there, all right? And you know America's got to get all the resources in the earth, man. Right? Because that's the so-called white man. He's a greedy bastard, man. All right? But it's good, though, because the Lord's pushing these nations to do this to get into the war of Armageddon. All right? Hey, and economic warfare is part of war, man. All right? You have economic warfare. You have covert warfare. Okay? There's many forms of warfare. But Beijing could also justify pulling back sharply from U.S. treasuries if the dollar were to plunge, perhaps because of Washington's failure to curb its budget deficit and debt. And that's what it is, man. China's going to have enough of America, okay, constantly going into debt. China's going to be like, you know what? I'm done buying your debt, America. All right? You cannot, okay, curb your deficit. All you're doing is spending and borrowing, okay, and increasing your debt. All right, you're not lucrative now to invest in anymore. All right, you don't have any value, America, and that's the way China's going to see it. I worry that we could be at a tipping point, said Ezra Prasad, a Brookings Institution economist and former International Monetary Fund official with responsibility for China. Quote, if the Chinese say we're not buying any more treasuries, this could act as a trigger around which nervous market sentiment colluses, he said. People could start wondering how the U.S. is going to finance its deficit. Boom, man. That's the times that we're living in, man. Very scary, man. That's why we're telling our people, yo, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, man, you need to return to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because America's over, man. All right? Over in a night, this place can fucking crash, man. All right? Let's get back to the scriptures, because it's all about the Bible, man. This is where, okay, if you want to be delivered, you got to come back to the scriptures, man. You got to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and get the full understanding. So why is this going to happen to America? Psalms 107, verse 34. A fruitful land into barrenness. Barrenness. Right, America was once fruitful. But now it's going to go into barrenness. Why? For the wickedness of them that dwell therein. Why? Because you people are wicked here in America, all right? You're a bunch of homosexuals, pedophilias, all right? Bunch of murderers, all right? You bunch of idol worshipers, all right? That's why this place is going to be a burdensome. It's going to be a barrensome, slakia, all right? That's why you're not going to have any more. You're not going to yield any fruit in this country anymore, all right? Because you're a bunch of wicked people, and the Lord's judging this place. Because at the end of the day, it's all of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? And when this happens, we here at Great Millstone, those sincere brothers, we're going to give praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the water for bringing down America, breaking the economy. All right? The water for putting the spirit on China and Russia, okay, to dump the bonds, all right, to collapse the financial system, all right, of America. Okay? These are the times that we're living in, all right? And because America's a wicked kingdom, man, and it has to be destroyed so that we can get into the kingdom of heaven. All right? Last verse, and then I'm going to close out. You know, it wasn't that long that I thought it was going to be. I was trying to make it not as too long. I just want to get to the point. So, the Water to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I was able to put a timer frame on it for me. All right? Because I know sometimes I go longer than I expected. But it's through the Spirit, you know. Book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Right. Hey, you rich people here in America, man, you're going to be misery, man. All right, misery. Because if you're not a Rothschild or a DuPont, all right, or a Rockefeller, man, you're going to fall, okay, right here with the poor man in America, all right? You're going to fall hard. You're actually going to fall harder. You're going to end up, okay, experiencing, okay, flight testings when you jump off the buildings, all right? A lot of you Edomites are going to, okay, start learning how to fly or try to fly, all right? Verse 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Verse 3, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if were fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. Right, because we're in the last days, man. All right? You've heaped treasures for the last day. All right, because you know the financial system's corrupt. All this is corrupt. All right, think about it. 2008, taxpayers bailed out bankers, the same bankers we got to go to get a loan, to go to them when we fuck up. Hey, I need a loan. Or you need to tell them, hey, I'm going bankrupt. All right, I need help. All right. You need to go to the banks for all this stuff when you're in a financial bind. But then when they're in a financial bind, hey, taxpayer, you got to fork up. You got to pay. You got to keep these banks from failing. Too big to fail. All right. You see how corrupt this place is. So you bankers, man. All right. You bankers here in America. All right. Your days are numbered. All right. Fuck you. That's how I say it, man. I can't wait to see you fucking cry. I can't wait to you people feel the pain, man. All right? Verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them have reached, and the cries of them have reaped, which have reaped, Salakia, are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, right, the Lord of armies, man. All right, because, hey, we're crying to the Lord, man. The Lord sees our poverty. The Lord sees how we're being screwed over financially, all right? How we're getting paid shit, all right, in a system that's fucking us, all right? In a system that's corrupt, in a financial system that's fraudulent, that's a fraud. He sees it. And the Lord's going, okay, to deliver his elect men out of it, all right? So, yeah, Lord willing, there's edifying. Okay, Lord willing, you got some understanding. But yeah, man, hey, any day now, man. Russia, China, okay, Japan, all right, Japan, okay, they can just say, you know, we're done with buying U.S. Treasury, all right. We want to sell it. We want to have what they know as a fire sale, a nuclear option, and poof, overnight, America is bye-bye, all right. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakah, Kadash, Barakatham. Double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith. And with that, Shalom.